Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Catherine Goldberg. I'm a registered dietitian and wellness coordinator at Sharp Health Plan. We're excited today to share a presentation on healthy eating at home. For today's focus, we will be going over the benefits and basics of healthy eating, as well as the challenges and strategies to eating healthier. And before we dive in, I really want us to focus on progress over perfection. And as I offer guidelines, really celebrate, explore, and discover what's going to feel best for you when it comes to healthy eating habits. So, why are we here? What are the benefits of eating healthier? You feel good and you have a boosted immune system. These two go hand in hand with a healthy digestive tract. 90% of our serotonin, which helps us feel good, is made in our gut. And 70% of our immune system is also in our gut. So it's so important to eat well. You're also able to do activities and exercises that you'd like to be able to do. When you eat well, this decreases inflammation in the body that can contribute to arthritis, GI distress, or autoimmune issues. And when you're able to exercise, this decreases stress and helps improve energy. There's also some foods that also support reducing stress, such as those foods that are high in magnesium, which has a calming effect. And then lastly, when you eat well, this supports your cardiovascular health. Having less salt and less trans and saturated fats in the body will help decrease blood pressure, as well as keeping those blood vessels smooth and open. I'm going to take a pause for you to think about why you're here today and why you'd like to eat healthier. What does healthy eating generally mean? It generally means eating a lot of plants, and this can be done in many traditional cultural cuisines. The Mediterranean diet has often been promoted as an ideal eating pattern. However, there are many cuisines that offer the same benefits. Throughout this presentation, I really want to offer choice on who you are as well as who your family is. Alrighty, so to dive into some of the components of eating healthy, we'll start with fats. Fats are really important because they insulate our organs, they support our nerve tissues, as well as the outer layer of all of our cells in our body. And a trivia question here is, how many human body cells are there? 37.2 trillion. So it's important that you're eating fats. It's just the kinds of fats that you want to be focusing on here. The mono and polyunsaturated fats are those that are going to be great for you. Avocado oils, for instance, have a high smoke point, so they're going to be good at those high heats. Olive oil are better for low heats and salad dressings. And then you have your avocado, your seeds, your nuts, which are all great choices, as well as chia seeds and flax. Those fats that you want to limit are those trans and saturated fats, and those are found in processed foods as well as red meats and dark meats. Okay, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are delicious and satisfying. You do not need to villainize these. We just want to be focusing on whole natural foods here. Stay clear of, for instance, a 100-calorie snack pack and instead choose that whole grain piece of bread. That bread is going to have fiber in it, and fiber supports our digestive tract. It also is going to maintain your blood sugars as well as maintain your cholesterol levels. Now, when it comes to fiber, fiber is so important, and it's found in vegetables, fruits, nuts, legumes, whole natural foods. And what this does, it offers food for the digestive tract, for that healthy bacteria in your gut. And your gut is called the second brain because it directly communicates with your head brain. As I mentioned earlier, it can affect your mood with that serotonin, your immune system, and it even can affect your metabolism. When it comes to fiber, for women, it is 21 to 25 grams a day, and for men, it's 30 to 36 grams a day. I'd like to also touch on sodium, otherwise known as salt. And sugar. For salt guidelines, it's 2,300 milligrams or 1 teaspoon a day. And for sugar, it is 6 teaspoons extra for women and 9 added teaspoons for men. It's helpful to start paying attention to your nutrition labels here. And another great tool is consider recording what you're eating for a couple days, and that way you can really assess what your portion size is of certain things, and for instance, if a healthy snack really is healthy. And then lastly, I wanted to touch on water, hydration. Over 60% of our body is water. So when you're dehydrated, you're going to be sluggish. You might feel hungry when you're really just thirsty. You might feel tired when you're really just thirsty. A great way to assess if you're well hydrated is the urine test. If it is pale yellow, you are good to go. A great way to maximize your nutrients is to get the colors of the rainbow into your daily habits. And many of you have probably heard this, and it's true. All the different colors offer different vitamins as well as antioxidants that are fabulous for the body. When you focus on colors, also though, consider spices and herbs. These have some of the highest antioxidant values out there. You'll often hear that berries, in particular acai berries, are really high in antioxidants, and spices top the list, particularly cinnamon. So enjoy cinnamon on sprinkled apples or on oatmeal as well as whole grain toast. Something to also add here is that when you eat foods together, they have a synergistic or complementary effect. For example, our bodies really struggle absorbing plant-based iron. However, when you enjoy them with high foods in vitamin C, this increases the absorption by 4 times. So an example food choice of this would be to have black beans that are high in iron with a side of bell peppers, which are high in vitamin C. Now that we've gone over the basics of the components of healthy eating, what does a well-balanced plate look like? And there's a lot of information out there, and it can be hard to know what to trust. And two trusted resources we can offer you are myplate.gov and eatright.org. When you go to MyPlate, you can click on these individual plate components to learn the benefits of each food group, as well as the serving sizes, and non-dairy and non-meat options in each category. As for eatright.org, there's some great recipe choices and information on health and health-related conditions like bone health, irritable bowel syndrome, and allergies. I'd like to transition now into the challenges of healthier eating. Is it confusing nutrition information, time to food prep and do dishes, easy access to less healthy foods? In the second half of this presentation, we're going to be going over some healthy eating strategies to really support you and your goals for longevity and quality of life. Take a minute here and think about what your challenges are. As we get ready to explore healthy eating habits and strategies, please remember to practice patience and flexibility with yourself. Habits have been created slowly over time, and they're going to take time to slowly change. And you need to be able to adapt and assess what's working and what's not for the long term. Okay, so tips for eating healthier. One is plan ahead. Two tools we can offer you here is one, to meal map. So perhaps you can look at the week and say, my family loves bowl night, so like Mexican bowl and stir fries, or you can consider theming your nights, Taco Tuesdays, Freezer Fridays. Once you have your meals for the week, then you'll want to take inventory. This is going to help with food cost, food waste, and multiple trips to the grocery store. And then once you get to the grocery store, have flexibility. Food is expensive, so if there's things on sale, please consider swapping out items in your recipes. Your food will still taste great. And then know your labels. I've offered myplate.gov and eatright.org as some great resources to go to learn more about label reading. However, a rule of thumb I can offer you is manufacturers list things in descending order by weight on the ingredient list. So when you're looking, for instance, at your granola bar, if the second ingredient is sugar, you most likely have a candy bar. And then think about your choices. I really want to be able to offer you balance and joy when it comes to eating. So if you're really craving a cinnamon roll, don't deprive yourself. Enjoy it, savor it. However, maybe on other days of the week, have that cinnamon, which we know is high in antioxidants, on those apples, on toast, and on oatmeal. And then lastly, don't drink your calories. The nutrition label often is for one serving when a container has 1.5 to 2.5 servings altogether. So be mindful of these drinks. And also to note here, those 0-calorie sugars, Splenda, Equal, Sweet and Low, are not necessarily better for you. They can affect your microbiome, your digestive tract, which, as we mentioned, can affect your immune system, your moods, as well as your metabolism. So steer clear of these. Save time with food prep. Assemble meals rather than cooking them from scratch. You can make delicious, nutritious meals without having to cook from scratch. Have frozen veggies, have canned beans, parboiled grains, and then any kind of protein that you like. Bake it, grill it, roast it, mix it with spices, fresh herbs, and your favorite sauce, and you're good to go. Also, consider investing in storage containers. This will help with your food cost and waste, as well as portion sizes, because you can take this right from food prep or after dinner into the freezer and then enjoy it the following time in the microwave or the oven for another meal. And then repurpose meal components to cut on food waste again and food costs. So after your Taco Tuesday, if you have extra chicken, throw it in a pot with beans and veggies and stock and make a soup out of it. And then lastly, consider phone apps and websites for inspiration. Healthy eating does not need to mean carrots and hummus, grilled chicken, broccoli, and brown rice. There is so much out there, and that's why we also love eating at restaurants, because it's variety. We eat with our eyes, we like different textures and colors and smells, and we'll offer some websites later on in the presentation to consider. With all of the preparing and planning, however, sometimes eating at home can still be a challenge because we don't have structure and the kitchen is right there and it can be tempting. So some tools that we can offer you here are: one is to practice mindful eating. And many of you have heard this before, but turn off your screens, your television and your phone. This really allows you to tune in to when you're starting to get full, or even have the opportunity to connect with somebody that you may be dining with. And then substitute healthier options. If you love potatoes, instead of fries, consider oven roasted potatoes. And potatoes are good for you. They have magnesium, potassium, fiber. They're a whole natural food. And then make healthy choices the easy choice. If you know that you're in back-to-back meetings in the afternoon, have pre-planned snacks ready to go if you're a snacker. And then don't deprive yourself. As I mentioned, if you're craving that cinnamon roll, enjoy it, but maybe don't bake 12 of them. It can often be challenging to have self-control at home. And if you're one of those people, I often recommend just grabbing that treat that you love outside. You can eat it at home, but that way you only have one serving to enjoy. And then expand your food choices or culinary horizon. As I mentioned, we can all get into ruts and we like to have that variety. So try those new recipes, consider new websites, ask your family and friends for ideas to get inspired. And then lastly, find the eating pattern that works for you. We really are unique, and there's not one diet that fits all. If you're not a morning person and don't like breakfast, don't force yourself. If you're not a snacker, don't snack. If you need 3 snacks a day, you go for it. This goes back to being intuitive and listening to your body on what it needs, so you can create an eating pattern for the long term, for longevity and that quality of life. I wanted to touch on snacking on its own, and snacking can be a great choice between meals. However, if you answer yes to one or both of these questions, it might mean that you're not eating well balanced meals, going back to that myplate.gov plate. The two questions here are you eating healthy all day and then snacking all night? Or are you needing to snack every couple hours or eat something? Both of these things tell me that those plates at mealtime are not balanced. I'll give you an example. Somebody once told me I have a small bowl of fat-free cereal for breakfast, a small salad at lunch, and then I get home and I'm so hungry and I just get off the bandwagon. Well, that means that you're not eating enough protein, healthy fats, and even those healthy carbohydrates to really satisfy you. So your body's starving by the evening. Or if you're eating every 2 hours, once again, your plate just might not be big enough, or you're missing a macronutrient component when you're looking back at that My Plate. Having a fat, a carbohydrate, a protein, vegetable, and fruit. What does a healthy snack also look like? A healthy snack is when you combine two macronutrient groups together. So a protein and a fat and a carb, or a carb and a fat. And if you're not clear on what those are, go back to myplate.gov or eatright.org to support you. But an example snack would be is having a banana, which is a carbohydrate, and that's 5 inches, not one of those 12-inch bananas, and a handful of any of your favorite nuts, which would be a healthy fat. Now that you have the tools for eating healthy, let's pause back to those challenges. Are there some habits that you can identify that may be affecting your goals? Let's chat about an example of breaking a bad habit and creating a smarter habit, plan, or goal. And SMARTER stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound, and then you'll evaluate and review. So an example might be every night I come home and after dinner I grab a big bowl of popcorn, I add butter to it, I get comfy in my favorite chair and I watch my favorite show and I don't want anyone to disturb me. My internal dialogue may be, I work hard all day and I deserve this time to myself with my popcorn and my show in my chair. And a reframe might be, I do work hard all day, but maybe what is there another self-care strategy that I could do to give back to myself? So a smarter habit, plan, or goal might be on 2 days a week, I'm still going to enjoy my popcorn. And maybe I'm going to choose a smaller bowl with a little less butter. And then on 3 days of my work week, I am going to listen to my favorite music and stretch for 2 songs because I sit all day and my body really aches. I'm going to record this and write this down. And then in a week, I'm going to review and reassess it. Was that smaller bowl of popcorn satisfying? Did I like that stretching? Would I can reconsider a different kind of self-care strategy? When you record these things, this offers that flexibility to see what you might want to change, as well as keep you in a positive mind frame and away from black and white thinking when you're having a bad day, so you can still see the great progress that you're making. To further support your healthy eating habits, we have resources to share with you. We offer a 6-week telephonic coaching program. You meet once a week with one of our great coaches for a half an hour on the phone, and they support you with your goals, such as weight management, nutrition, exercise, and stress management. If you'd like to learn more, email besthealth@sharp.com, and this is confidential and free to you. In addition, there's some great websites you can check out for that inspiration and support. MyFitnessPal has been around for a while. You can add your nutrition information. It offers recipes. You can also include your exercise and it tracks your progress. Supercook is a neat one because it assesses what's in your kitchen and creates recipes based on that inventory so you can help with food cost and food waste. And then Mealime will take into the account of how many servings that you need to cook in a night, whether that's 2 or 6, as well as your preferences, your allergies, and creates meal plans and nutrition information. And then lastly, eat this much as if you're following a specific caloric daily intake, and it divides that over how many meals that you like to eat, and then creates meal plans and offers that nutrition count as well. That concludes our presentation on healthy eating at home. Thank you so much again for joining us today, and we hope you're able to take some nuggets home with you to support those healthy eating habits long term for longevity and quality of life. Thank you again. Bye-bye.